Hi, it's Christopher, and today I'll be reviewing Tales from the Borderlands. It's another episodic adventure game from Telltale, set, of course, in the Borderlands universe. Let's take a look.
See, I'd spent my entire career up at Hyperion.
The main gameplay, just like other Telltale games, consists of dialogue/narrative choices and a point-and-click adventure-style game. Mostly this game focuses on the dialogue/narrative choices compared to the point-and-click style. The first episode of this series shows a lot of promise with some strong plot points and witty banter between the characters, and it jumps between two different main characters telling their interpretation of events. It's quite funny and quite good. However, after episode 1, it goes downhill from there.
It took some time to fit in.
You look surprised to see me, Reese, and if I'm reading the situation right, and I usually am, you're not too happy about it either.
I must say that the voice acting in this game is superb, with big names like Troy Baker, Nolan North, and especially Patrick Warburton playing Vasquez here. He's really good. Anyway, however, getting back on topic, at the end of episode 1, everything that they set up within that episode is completely resolved. Completely, other than a couple of plot points, and then it's a stinger set up for episode 2. Which really does not work in the story's favor.
Radiation leak I don't know about.
It just turns into a collectathon. They have to go collect 3 items to open a vault, and it's just like, alright, we're going here, then randomly over here, and it just sort of meanders, and it's a lot less funny. It also drops during like episode 1, you play as the 2 different main characters, and you switch between them, and you get to see one part of the scene from their perspective, from one of their perspective, and it's the same scene, but it's played out differently from the other ones. Completely dropped in episodes 2 through 5, so that's unfortunate, and was part of why the game was so funny in the first place. And the story would have been a lot better to just be in a regular Borderlands game with like the fun combat to back up a minimalist story. But yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. And the story follows the basic outline for every story ever, with the beginning exposition, rising action where everything starts to get more complicated, climax, falling action, and resolution to a T. You literally have each one of those. The exposition, guess what? Episode 1. Climax, as always, episode 3. Spoiler alert. Which does follow a lot of the other formulas that are in the other Telltale's games, but they just execute on their stories so much better. So, if you're into these types of games, take a look at The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, especially Season 1, Wolf Among Us, or something else, but not this one, because while Episode 1 is really fun and great, it drops the ball. It just becomes a collectathon and meanders. It's not worth playing. It's not technically bad, but it's just not worth seeing all the way to the end. So I'm going to give this game a 2 out of 5 stars, because it's still a decently well-produced game. The voice acting is still really great. It's just that episode 4 and 5 really drive home the point that the story doesn't know what's going on. This is especially evident with how they handle the plot twists later in the game. Anyway, this has been Christopher. I'll catch you guys later.
3 years sucking up to the guy. Out the window.